Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the National Whig for Sunday, March 25th, 2012. I am your host, Robert McReynolds. Today we're going to talk about culture in the United States. What is it? Where has it gone? One of the pieces that I want to touch on primarily use as my springboard here is from the Journal of Medical Ethics. It's a piece titled "After Birth Abortion: Why Should the Baby Live?" It's by Alberto Gublini and Francesca Minerva. And their basic premise, the abstract here says that abortion is largely accepted even for reasons that do not have anything to do with the fetus's health, by showing that one, both fetuses and newborns do not have the same moral status as actual persons; two, the fact that both are potential persons is morally irrelevant; and three, adoption is not always in the best interest of actual people. The authors argue that what we call after birth abortion, killing a newborn, should be permissible in all the cases where abortion is, including cases where the newborn is not disabled. So they are arguing for killing a child after it has entered the world and left the womb. Um, this Some of you may be saying, well, this is preposterous, never going to happen, not in the United States, so forth and so on. But what many of you need to realize is that in the U.S., as well as in other parts in Western civilization, Europe, for instance, they perform what are called designer abortions. This is basically, say, for instance, uh, you want a child that is blonde haired or blue eyed. And we now, thanks to modern technology, can go in and tell whether or not your child will be blonde haired and blue eyed. If it's not, you can opt to abort it. Um, Here in the United States recently, there was a case in Oregon for a wrongful birth suit. The couple had gone through different medical procedures to conceive. They were told by their medical provider that going through the pregnancy that the child was, going to be healthy. Turns out the child had Down syndrome when it was born, and the couple said that had they had known prior to birth, they would not have brought the child to term. They would have aborted the child. Uh, these two doctors for the Journal of Medical Ethics argue that they should have the choice to kill it after birth, because of its birth defects, or for what other reason that might be given, that's also given to justify abortion pre-birth. So, where does all of this stem from? You ask. I ask. Frankly, I think it stems from a mentality in our culture that celebrates death, that defends death. We have movements in the United States who wish to kill old people. They consider it humane. Death with dignity is what they call it. We have a vehement defense of abortion in this country. Um, and they use the argument that it's, what if the mother's life is in danger? But when you go to the Guttmacher Institute, you come to find that most abortions, in fact, a vast majority of abortions, close to 80%, 75 to 80% of abortions are done because of economic concern. The mother, potential mother, um, views the child as a crimp on her lifestyle, if you will, and therefore aborts the child so as to not deal with the economic concern. Um, this is a telling sign in American society, and I think you can look around and see that it is all around. It's a precursor of everything else that you might see in our society that makes you scratch your head. Um, so in America, we do have a culture of death. We have a society that um, is detached from personal responsibility, and that's where a lot of this stems from. Not wanting to take responsibility for your actions, whether it be carrying a child to term and dealing with what you have wrought by having sex, or taking responsibility for your family members in terms of caring for your parents or your grandparents. Um, I think we all have an obligation, if we are going to get at the root at what we think is causing our society's problems in this day and age in 2012. If we are going to get at the root of the issue, we have to come to terms with our shunning of responsibility for those who we should care about, who should be on the top of our list of priorities. Um, until we figure that out, everything else is just going to be a moot point. So, thank you for watching. Please leave comments throughout the throughout later podcasts. I may deliver responses to some comments. Please feel free to come back, tell your friends, watch, comment, try to have discussions, and we'll see where this goes. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Robert McReynolds, and this is the National Whig.